Hello and welcome back to my channel. I have my snacks and my beverage here, and I just thought it would be fun to tell you a little bit about how the Hobonichi system is working out for me after about a month of use. My last video, I talked about how I was switching over from the bullet journal system as my planner to the Hobonichi system as my planner. And it's been a really interesting experiment and exploration of how I plan and journal throughout the day. It's made the daily journaling aspect that I always strive for in my day-to-day life. It's made that a lot easier. And it's freed up the space in my bullet journal for meaningful things. I'm still using like the bullet journal system technically, but I've just adapted it to my own personal needs. And so the first month I'm feeling like this is working out really well for me so far. And I just kind of thought it would be fun to do a bit of a flip through of what I have done within April, just on my free time and then my day-to-day planning and such. So yeah, let's get right into it and we'll just have a little chat. Feel free to make yourself a little snack or grab a beverage. So first and foremost, I've gone a little sticker happy in here so far. I have all these cool sticker packets that I've gotten as gifts or I've purchased myself over the last year or two. So I'm just trying to make sure I use those instead of accumulating things and just like, oh, I'll find the perfect place for that. And then I never do. I'm just taking the opportunity to do that in my daily journaling, even if that's all I do for the day. Like if I just write out my basic schedule and tasks and then I decorate a little bit, I feel like that's technically in the journaling realm for me. That can be kind of soothing and just get my mind off of the day when I come home. Also, I've decided to store my library card in here and my Barnes and Noble rewards card because I don't go there very often, but when we do get out of town, sometimes we'll stop and just grab a book or just walk around, I just thought it would be convenient to keep those things in there. I'm also thinking about putting my movie theater cards in here as well, like my rewards cards, just because I'm gonna get to why in a second, actually. I got this at the beginning of April, so I've kind of backfilled a little bit on March and February just with appointments. Like I have my dental cleaning, so I just try to keep track of when the last time I had it was. I'm just putting in events, things I'm doing, appointments, people's birthdays. I just draw like a little book for each book I read that month. I'm keeping track in a separate place the titles. Like I use the apps like Goodreads and I'm really big on Fable too. So this is just a visual, like, oh, I read 5 books in March, and I think I only read 2 in February, but yeah, I'll draw the 2 there. April, I've read 3 so far. Possibly will finish 1 or 2 more this weekend. I don't really know. We'll see where it takes me. So since I got it in April, there's a lot more going on here, you know. And then I've kind of started writing out the next months as things come up. Nothing too wild. I went ahead and bought some tabs, some monthly tabs, like the daily pages within the months, and then I use one tab up here just to locate the back pages that are just kind of like little special interest pages. I'll get into that in a minute as well. A little bit of decoration, did some cute stickers, and it's interesting as I was going through each day and like writing out my schedule, because that's kind of how I started. Let me take a little sip here. Ooh. Have a little snacky. Oh, I have chocolate on my hands. Oh, my rabbit. Oh, my rabbit. Hi. No chocolate covered strawberries. I knew I was just going to start off kind of simplistic and doing the time blocking over here. And even though it's like super basic, I need to write it out for some reason. I just need to do that, even if it's just the same exact thing every day. The first week, just time blocking and doodling and putting stickers down and writing stuff in, and just kind of seeing how I like the layouts, and just, you know, diving in, jumping in and getting going. And I just wanted it to be experimental the first month. I didn't want to be too worried about getting it right or getting it wrong, because I don't really think there's a right or wrong way to go about journaling and planning and memory keeping. You guys need to knock it off. What are you doing? No, I don't need your help. What's working for me is the time blocking and just general schedule keeping. I don't need to write down my tasks for like work. It's just, I like to have that time blocked out, because there are days when I'm working remotely and I can use my breaks for like, oh, get a load of laundry going, or vacuum the office areas. I do cling to the time blocking. I think eventually I'm going to add, you know, since I will obviously be asleep at a certain point, I'll have this chunk to write maybe like a daily task list or just like reminder, and I can do that over here as well. But the reason I'm moving that from the general task, like check boxes up here, is because what I prefer to use this space up here for is media consumption tracking. So the book I read that day, the TV show or movies I watched that day, the games I played that day. I like to keep track of that stuff. I'm finding, and it's kind of like whether I like it or not too. It's not like, oh, my favorites. It's just what I did that day. music, what I like, the playlists I listen to. Although that one is tough because sometimes I just listen to a bunch of random stuff and forget to write it down. So I'm not really worried about the music as much as like the books, the TV shows, the games, and then like maybe the new albums or like full albums that I listened to, or maybe like a song that really stood out to me that day. I'm liking it as like a media box because I am keeping track of, I like, that's just something I do in these journals is keep track of my media consumption, things I like, things I didn't like. It's also cool to track how fast I get through a show. You know, if I watch it in 2 days, then I know like, oh, that was a really good show. I like that type of show. Or, you know, if I never actually finished it and I see like, oh man, I watched that over a period of like a month and I actually never finished it. So maybe I didn't like that. It's just a neat way to track. I just like storytelling. So we've got the time block, the media keeping, general task list. I just kind of put that anywhere it came up because I'm allowing this space that's like here, like this half of the page, I'm allowing that to be task list or just information, sort of like a commonplacing area. Although I do have a commonplace book, it's just sometimes you're on the go and you need to just write quick instructions down, or or a list, and then I'll transfer that in my commonplace book. For example, I had a friend or coworker, she's my coworker friend, she gave me bits of a spider plant and a jade plant to propagate. So I have done that, but they're not plants that I've had in my house yet. And I thought it was important to just write down what kind of light and water frequency they need, since that's typically the information I need from a day-to-day perspective. I decided to just split those up, make it pretty, instead of like stacking it here in case I want to write more information about each plant. But I also did a bit of backfilling and a bit of experimenting with ways I would want to use this space for journaling, and possibly start using entire pages for journaling if I feel like I can get away from time blocking. I decided to put some journal prompts in the first couple of pages, since I got this on the 6th of or the 5th or 6th of this month is when this actually came to me. So I backfilled my schedule just to write something down, and then this is kind of like daily journaling prompts, just kind of to, if I want to journal but I don't know what to write or what kind of activity to do in this book. I just have some prompts that are really more mundane or day-to-day stuff. I decided that maybe there are times when I want to be a little more creative, but I still need prompts. So I found a bunch of random creative journal prompts and just added those. Practicing cursive. It's something that I remember we had to do a lot of up until I think when I graduated high school. I stopped using cursive. And so it's kind of like messy, but I've been practicing over the month and it's gotten way better. So it's like muscle memory. It's kind of cool. And I have been using my cute stickers, and I haven't even like touched the surface of my sticker collection. So it's really fun to be able to like flip through here and see all these cute stickers. There's a little bit of like hand doodles and stickers, and let's see, I gave a bit of a gratitude section a try. The eclipse day, so I just doodled on the eclipse. I had some tasks I needed to take care of that day. This was a busy day, so I just had a lot of things to write down. This sticker, this looks like my sweet little boy Vesper. So he actually passed away on the 10th of April, and he was 11. I got him when he was 8 weeks old. So he was very elderly, and we had a very special bond. He was my special boy, and as you can see, I had to give him baths each day, so he was really able to take care of himself anymore. He was just very, very old and passed away, so I miss him a lot. So sometimes I come back to this page and add things just because, yeah, I just miss him. Coming back to the page and like putting stickers and writing stuff has been therapeutic, and of course that was a very sad week, so we watched some feel good stuff. I'd never seen My Neighbor Totoro, and so my friend recommended we watch that, and we did, and I did a little doodle and ended up buying a sticker pack of Totoro, and that's such a cute sticker. Ooh, yeah, and then I said that I was on the Fable app like pretty regularly. They just added TV shows to the app, like where you can track and be in like TV show clubs, since they do book clubs on there. So I wanted to mark that, like, yeah, that was at the end of April. Because you just gotta try to see the good during the tough months. So that's been a bright spot in the month. My husband and I are planning a trip to Japan. So next year, 2025, is our 10-year wedding anniversary and 15 years since we started dating. So we thought it would be really cool to go to Japan. And so we're going to go at towards the beginning, in the first quarter of 2026. I just decided that I wanted to start writing down some things that I would like to remember, kind of have like a brain dump area for that. Since I have this with me every day, this would be great to like write stuff out. You know, like I just have the cherry blossoms bloom in late March, early April into May in the colder regions. I would love to see the cherry blossoms. I know that's a big touristy time though, so it might be a little out of our price range to go at that time, but it's just kind of a little reminder that maybe that's like a fun time to go if we can, if you know, money's not really an issue. I've been saving a lot of random tips for travel in Japan on Instagram and social media, and so I'm gonna go back and write some of those tips out. And yeah, like just use these pages for that and probably other things too. And then on this time block space, I'm experimenting with keeping track of what days I should do certain chores. It's kind of weird. I don't know how to explain it right now. So I'm using this. So far it's just written in pencil, but I'm using this as a favorite of my media throughout this year. I'm starting off in pencil because if there's things, you know, the year's not even halfway through, and if I get too many favorites, I have to start kicking some off, right? Like ranking. And so I just, yeah, I'm doing everything in pencil right now. But hopefully I'll just fill that. I love having tons of favorites. And then my 100, I'm doing a book list. So it's a mix of, I've read all these, but then the TBR, and I'm trying to stay like on task, not getting too far ahead of my list. A lot of these books are, I'm either part way through, almost done with, or they're in my queue for the next month. That's just a general flip through of the first month. Of course, I'm gonna experiment through May too. Every day is an experiment, right? And so it'll be interesting to maybe touch base in a month or two, do another flip through of how things are going then, just kind of see how it evolves, what other things I want to keep track of, and then how I kind of transfer it out into other journals I may use. Because sometimes I just feel like planners kind of turn into a more throwaway thing. Even if I don't throw them away, I don't feel like I go back to those as often. So possibly I will take some time this weekend to go through this book and then transfer anything important into my commonplace or house, like life journal, if that makes sense. The things, the spreads that I need to keep track of and I want to have easy access to. Yeah, all in all, I am really liking it, and obviously I'm not going to be switching anytime soon because I don't like to buy stuff and then not use it. So I will be in this for a year at a minimum. Hi, Serafina. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.